Hey, I'm Cole Cabana, AEW wrestler, and you're watching the BWF Wrestling Podcast. Woo!
Wrestling fans, we have a jam-packed episode. Let's run down this week's card. In our opening contest, we have predictions for this week's Clash at the Castle. Our mid-card sees an interview with independent wrestling promoter Matt Classic Creed. That's going to be a great interview. Then we have the conclusion to our Epic Tag Team Championship Tournament where you can win a t-shirt. Somebody's going to win a t-shirt. It could be you. Our main event this week is going to be Sting versus Hogan as we continue to look at what killed WCW. All this and a whole lot more. Let's go.
WCW Wrestling Podcast with your host and the leader of the BWF Nation, the Big Susie Little Auburn, the undisputed BWF champion, Aaron
BWF Nation, please keep this podcast alive by going to our Patreon account, and for as low as $3 a month, you can see a bunch of stuff not normally seen on our social media accounts. You can get our episodes early and a whole lot more. And if you are one of our Patreon accounts, hi Chris, hi Stacy, you're going to see a bunch of stuff uploaded this week. It's going to be great, I promise. But in the meantime, Patrick Condon, co-host, how are you this week?
Hello, Aaron. Thank you. Yes, everything is great. Everything is top-notch. Nothing to complain about. I begin another summer on the radio gig this weekend. Here's hoping that it's as eventful as last summer. And in the meantime, I'm ready for a big week of talking wrestling. We had a successful week on the internet. Your Savio Vega interview has been going gangbusters. People really like the insight that he shared about the strap match. And thank God we got something from him. Because whatever we didn't get, Auguste Artois certainly got 2 times when he defeated Savio for us. A feud completely predicated on us and the BWF podcast and Savio Vega's rotten treatment of us. So, what a week, hey?
It's been awesome, man. Eyes, congratulations, my man. And I guess I forgot to mention earlier, if you like anything that you see, please subscribe to our channel. You'll see the bell at the bottom of the screen, and you can always go to our website at bwfpodcast.com.
Yes, of course. Yes. Aaron, what are we doing this week?
Yes, sir. We are going to, as I said, start this week with some predictions for Clash at the Castle. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, baby. Predictions time.
Predictions. Gotta love predictions.
Yeah. Anytime that the music plays a little bit longer, you can be assured that I am scrambling to do something in the background. But
it's okay.
All that being said, yes, this weekend it's the Clash at the Castle, Scotland. Wow, it seems like we were in the Middle East just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now we're back at another premium event. Aaron, what are your overall thoughts of the Clash at the Castle 2024?
I think it's not going to be very good. I think the crowd is going to be rowdy for the Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre match. Outside of that, Sami Zayn, Chad Gable could be decent, but we'll get into all this in a second. But I'm not looking forward to it at all.
All right.
Not one fucking bit. No.
Well, and the beautiful thing about this is that you'll be watching it and giving us your thoughts as the pay-per-view goes along. And we're going to try and beat those other guys. The goal is to once again get it out before Cultaholic. We'll see if it happens. But Aaron, yes, you'll be providing our audience with an insight that only you have as you review and give your grades on this show. So let's start it all off, I guess, with the first match of the evening. Looking here, it appears to be, is it a triple threat or is it a Yes, triple threat. Is it?
It's a triple threat.
Look at that.
Yeah.
For the women's tag team champions, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. Gosh, I know 3 of these people in this match. The women's division has really taken off, I guess, because I've never heard of Alba Fire. Is it Isla Dawn?
Yeah, Isla Dawn? I have no idea, man. Yeah,
Isla Dawn?
I know
Don't
the
watch
champions. I know Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark a little bit, and then said, yeah, I don't know who these other 2 people are. I'm surprised they even have enough teams to make a triple threat. Good for them, I guess. But there's no way.
I guess that's what this is all about, yeah.
Yeah, but there is no fucking chance that Belair and Cargill are losing these championships this week. So,
yeah,
championships
agreed.
or champions retain, yeah.
There you go. I agree with you on that. I'm surprised that this is on the main card. I don't know why. I mean, they've really stuck to their 5 matches on these events, stuck to their guns on this, which I really like, and you'll enjoy it, especially after going through the AEW pay-per-view and the bloat with that. But with the premium of getting a match on this, if I was going to this pay-per-view and this was one of the matches, I'd be disappointed.
Goddamn right. Who wants to go to the bathroom the first match? So,
yeah. I don't think that'll be the first match, though. They're going to start it off hot, I think. This will probably be the palate cleanser before the 2 championships, or in between the 2 championship matches. That's my take. But we're not betting on that. Doesn't matter. Next up, we have Chadwick Gable versus Samantha Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. This is another rematch. I say another rematch, as we'll go in a lot of these matches. Or not a lot. I mean, there's only 5, but this is a repeat of what happened at the King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. I picked Chad Gable last time. He disappointed. Who do you got this time?
well,
You had Sammy, I believe, last time. So
I did have Sammy last time, yeah. And in my hot takes, if you go back and watch our hot take or clown comment, I did say that Chad.
Of course,
Gable would
everybody
win.
watches the hot takes. It's a wildly popular segment. Yes, please.
Of
Go on.
course. But I did say that Chad Gable would win the Intercontinental Championship at the next PLE, which is this right here. All the shenanigans going on with this contract, all the shenanigans going on with Otis, you would think maybe that Otis would probably stop Chad Gable from winning the Intercontinental Championship and make the crowd go crazy with the big pop. I don't think it's going to happen. I actually think Chad Gable is going to win the Intercontinental Championship. So Chad Gable, new champ, new contract. It's the Gable era. Let's go.
Gable era. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was going to happen last month. Even more sure that it's going to happen this month. New Intercontinental Champion in Scotland. Next is a women's championship match. Bailey versus Piper Niven. Piper Niven from Scotland as well. Hometown hero, hometown girl. Have not seen much of her in a year, it seems like, at least. Going against Bailey, who has it's not working for me now. Granted, I'm not watching the product, so I don't know. But the general idea of a babyface Bailey like this, I'm not down with it. I also am not down with how much they are completely just redoing the way that these women, all of them look. I was going to say the same thing about Sami Zayn. Like, look at Sami Zayn has never been so handsome. Like, it's insane what they're doing on this. Anyways, nevertheless, Piper Niven, Bailey, lackluster run, in my opinion. I'm saying that it's going to be a Bailey retention, and Piper's going to go down in her home country. Aaron, what say you?
Yeah, I haven't been a fan of this Bailey run since she turned face months ago. It was nice to see her win the Royal Rumble, but literally ever since then, it's just been like, meh. That being said, Bailey's not losing. Bailey retains. I don't even know why Piper fucking Niven is in a main event or a championship match on a pay-per-view. It makes no sense. But either way, yeah, Bailey wins.
You know why? It's because it's in Scotland and she's Scottish.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
That's why. Okay. Wow. Zionist kind of thing.
Sorry, Scotland. Sorry, but who gives
very, yes, very. Scotland and the UK is our third biggest market too, so watch out. And here we go with the second last match of the evening. A real missed opportunity, I think. Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles in an I Quit match. Going back to AJ Styles again so quickly after their match at Backlash in France, which, you know, was a really well-received match, completely aided by the crowd. I'd imagine it's going to be the same thing here. I Quit stipulation. Cody Rhodes, he's got this John Cena thing going on. He'll never quit. I'd never buy it. And I don't think that the stipulation works for this kind of a match in this kind of a setting. Aaron, I'm going Cody Rhodes on this. Aaron, what about you?
You know, this could be, probably not going to be, but it could be a time where they could shock the world, give AJ Styles a quick title reign here, make Cody chase the championship again in time for SummerSlam. The I Quit stipulation, you know, it could help AJ win the championship because a lot of baby faces lose. You see Mankind get screwed over and that kind of stuff in the I Quit match before.
I think that's the only time, though, isn't it? Like, I can't think of any other time. What was the one? There was one where somebody quit because somebody else was going to get hurt. That might have been AEW or something. It was like, I can't remember what it was, but I mean,
yeah,
I Quit matches typically, yeah.
So that's a possibility. I don't see it happening, though. I think Cody Rhodes is going to be made to look dominant. He's going to have a vicious side come out that we haven't seen yet. It's going to be a very good match, though. This is probably going to be the match of the night. Cody Rhodes wins.
Yeah, agreed. And yeah, I mean, easily will be the best match of the night. And then we're going to the main event. It's the bisexual Undertaker and Drew McIntyre. Now, we've talked a lot about the lack of Drew
merch.
Damian Priest really is going over the top in these photos. So that's wild. We were talking a bit about how Drew didn't have any merch at WrestleMania. I was at Walmart last week, and they have a whole thing of Drew McIntyre action figures. I was going to pick one up for you, but he's not wearing his cool jacket or anything. It's just him in his trunks. So I didn't think that was worth it. I want to find out who designs Drew's coats. Like, it's not even just the big long duster that he wears. He's got like really cool looking leather, custom made leather jackets. Now, I mean, I'll let you go first on this one. This seems like it's pretty obvious that at the Clash of the Castle in Scotland, you know, since this pay-per-view was announced, everybody has assumed that Drew, it was, this whole thing is being done so that Drew comes out as the champion. Aaron, what do you think?
I think it's a prime opportunity for CM Punk to fuck him over and even add more fire to the fuel to their feud. Oh my God. I really hope not, though. I really, really, really want Drew to win the championship, but something is telling me he's not going to. I'm going to have to say Damian Priest retains with the CM Punk screw job.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're too far off base with that. And I was going to go with Damian Priest as well. But I zigged and then you zigged. So we're still on the same path. We're going to have to disagree on one. So I guess I'll go with the apparent easy layup, which is Drew McIntyre to win the championship at Clash of the Castle.
If there's 1 week that I hope you are right to beat me, it's this week right here. So good luck, my friend.
Thank you. And as we know, the punishment this week is that you have to upload a picture of your penis to our website. And with your name and your date, your face has got to be in the photo. And good luck to both of us. Although you don't have anything to worry about, as it's been well documented, you have a large penis. So maybe not that big of a deal for you. Aaron, that is our predictions for Clash at the Castle. Okay, flipping along well. You were talking about, the interviews that we're doing is just second to none these days. Kamikaze last week. This week, we have a gentleman here to chit-chat with us. Aaron, do you want to cue him up before we let him in?
Sure.
Does he know that he's about to go live to air?
Yeah, he's aware. He's aware.
Okay.
Yeah. So please welcome to the show this week, Matt Classic Creed. He is a former independent wrestler and current independent promoter. And the stuff that he's trying to do is quite amazing. And that's the reason why we have him on the show this week. So, Conan, is he ready or do I need to keep on talking?
No, let's do it.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's bring him on.
That's what you get when you're chit-chatting with the Bish.
All right, Matt Classic Creed is joining us this week. Matt, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Now, Matt, we were talking over Facebook, over Messenger, and you brought up something to me that is quite interesting, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And now you're an independent wrestling promoter, and you're part of an organization called the AIWF.
Correct.
What can you tell us about this, and what does it stand for? And yeah, just give us all the deets, all the info.
Oh, yeah, perfect. The AIWF, we're the largest global sanctioning body alliance in pro wrestling today. We have over 150 promotions in 47 countries. We've been around since 1992. And like I said, we were doing some great stuff. Up in your neck of the woods, we just got a new Canadian president. The AIWF Canada president is Drew Onyx. He's like the Jack Tooney of our organization.
Jack Tooney. That's amazing. That's amazing. So you have 150 promotions over 47 countries. That's amazing. So what you're trying to do basically is become the new NWA and revitalize the territory system.
Yeah, we're definitely trying to bring the territory system back to the modern age of wrestling. I think we're doing a better job than that other fellow. Obviously, he brought it back because he wanted to copy us, but, that's just me.
And what do you what's the end goal? What's the goal for the AIWF? Is there a statement that you guys have?
Yeah, we're just trying to bring the old system back into the independent wrestling scene. and just try to get promotions to work together and not fight each other, which is very hard to do if people don't know independent wrestling. And we just, we want to have champions traveling across the world, which we do. We have got over 12 championships around the globe right now. And, we just want to work together, and we just want to present good wrestling.
12 championships. Okay. So, so you're basically, so you have your champions, and then you want to go around to different promotions across the, so like, say you want to come to Canada to Edmonton, and you want to go combine with RCW, for example. So you would have your champions come up here and come on their show and just have a talent like based.
Well, and not just that. We also like to work with promotions on developing their own brand as well as how their brand fits into ours. And we want to do trays of talent with promotions across the globe. Like I know I got guys coming in from Italy end of the year. They're coming down to South Carolina to stay. And I've had my African champion. He came from Africa and stayed in the U.S. for like 3 months. They actually have a big event this weekend in National Stadium in Lagos, Nigeria. King Kizzy is defending the AIWF America's heavyweight title. He actually lives in Dallas currently, but it's his first time back in Nigeria in over a year, and he's defending the belt in a big stadium show in Nigeria this Saturday.
Oh wow, that's really cool. So you have an Africa champion. What other champions do you have across the world?
We have European champion. He just actually beat up Ultimo Dragon a couple months ago and unmasked him. Gianni Vallata. He's out of Malta. He was actually on Malta television with the belt recently. We have a world women's champion. We have a world champion. We have an Australian national champion. We got a lot of good stuff happening in Australia. Like I said, we're Canadian championships. They're coming. They've been ordered. We're ready to crown Canadian heavyweight and tag champions for sure. Maybe some other belts. You never know.
Okay, and do you have any shows in mind or any dates in mind for Canada?
There's no dates yet. But there's several promotions involved. Torture Chamber Pro out of Montreal is involved. Island Pro Wrestling, they're out of Prince Edward's Island. Out of Winnipeg, we got Mike Davidson and his group involved. Lots of good stuff.
So Dave Parker and Island Pro Wrestling, they're getting involved. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Our good buddy.
Yeah, he's running IPW, and he's got another promotion called Atlantic Championship Wrestling that he just bought, which is a little south, I believe, of where he's at IPW.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, good for him. That's good to hear. Matt, how did you get involved in the business, by the way? Like, you've been around for, what, 20 years or so?
About 20 years, yeah. I got trained by the legendary Chief Jay Eagle. He's a famous wrestler and promoter out of South Carolina. His claim to fame, he trained his neighbor, who happens to be the one-man gang, or Akeem, the legend himself, George Gray. But, Jay trained me, and I did well. And, now I'm in the office. I like being in the office.
Much better than taking bumps, right?
Yeah, like Boogie taught me. I know Jimmy the Boogie Wingman Valiant very well. He said, if you're going to take a bump, make it count.
Absolutely. And how did you get involved? So you went from independent wrestler to promoter? How did you make that jump?
I kind of went into wrestling. I got out for a while. Then they drug me back in. And then they say, okay, well, you handle this, you handle that. And that's kind of how I got to my current position in the AIWF. I've been within the organization for 17 years now, and I'm currently the executive director, which means I'm kind of like the Don, like in the Godfather movie.
Nice. So how exactly does this work? So I see you trying to network on Facebook all the time. You're asking questions like who's the tag teams who are being promoted the most or wrestling the most in certain areas like that. How are you getting all these people together, all these promotions together, to be part of the of your federation? Like it's be a crazy undertaking, right?
I mean, it's crazy. It's definitely an undertaking, but I mean, you just have to network. You have to talk, and have to be honest, and you have to, you have to know how to help each other out. I guess I'm known for being able to help people out, so I mean, it works.
I cannot wait to see what you have in store for Canada. I mean, like, if you come to here up in Alberta, it's not even monthly shows, it's weekly shows. Like you can go every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, within an hour and a half from wherever I am. You're going to be able to find a wrestling show somewhere. So independent wrestling is alive and well up here. I can't wait to see what you and your AIWF can do for the independent scene up here. And yeah, it sounds like great things are in store.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we're hopefully going to do some good stuff and crown some good quality champions up there. The only person that held our Canadian belt previously is Mentalo. I'm not sure if you know him out of Winnipeg.
Metallo, yes, sir. I actually got him autographed on my flag right here.
Yeah, he's a great talent. He's also performed for some of our affiliates in like North Dakota and down in Montana and all that. So
Amazing. Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I can't wait to see what happens in the future with this. And you're always welcome on the show. Whenever you have something with dates settled, come back on and we'll promote it.
okay, sounds great, boss. Y'all have a good night.
You too. Thank you so much, Matt. Cheers.
That's what you get when you're chit-chatting with the Bish.
You did it again, Aaron. You did it again.
Not bad, not bad. It's crazy though what they're trying to do though. The AIWF, as I said, it's a new NWA. It's really cool. It's a global organization what he has going on, and it's incredible. I hope to be in touch with him. Like I really want to start planting some seeds and getting some shows on the go up here. I've been talking Epic Shirts.
Oh, really?
Talking to this guy. I'm getting there, man. I'm literally planting seeds to start a show. Hopefully within the next year or two at the Calgary Stampede Week in Calgary for charity. Yeah, so things are, the groundwork is being laid, and
is the plan for you to book the shows?
I want to at least help set the show up. So like if I can, connect people and if I can get pricing together, I can't do it obviously. So like if I can get someone like the guy who runs the RCW shows up here who actually knows Matt Classic, those guys know each other. So if I can get those two together to, do something, and then if I can help promote it, if I can just do something along the line, sponsor, it doesn't matter. Just whatever we can do to get our name in on it and help promote, I'm all for it.
Nice. That's exciting stuff, man. You are really becoming inundated and a part of the wrestling community up there, which is got to be the strongest in Canada. So it's exciting to see.
It is very exciting. Yeah, it's so cool being able to talk to all these people, and it's just thinking about being able to possibly run a show one day is pretty exciting because I would love to get August Artois. That's my number one thing, to get him booked in Canada. And he's never been to Canada.
Nice.
So that's my goal.
I thought that didn't he say in our little interview that he did, but it's been a while, or I don't know.
He's never wrestled.
No more than me.
He's never wrestled. In Canada. Yeah.
Then you're not really a pro wrestler. Although I don't want to say that. I retract that. I'm sorry, August, to ever suggest anything. You are a real wrestler.
He's real.
What's his thing again?
He's raw.
Real and raw.
Yeah.
There you go.
The goddamn.
Okay,
raw.
Beautiful stuff. And now we move along to, is it time for us to reveal the Epic Tag Team Finals?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Should we throw...
Well, Aaron, not much to talk about really with this, as it is what it is. I'm surprised, as I was, to see the British Bulldogs to even get into the finals, and now in our first most epic WWE tag team of all time, the British Bulldogs have defeated the Dudley Boys, to win our tournament, and I'm very happy about that. The odds were so small; they had to take out the Hardy Boys. They had to take out the Hart Foundation. I mean, to get their path to the finals was not an easy one.
It was the most difficult one out of the whole tournament. I'm surprised the fans even voted the British Bulldogs in the finals to win, considering that the 3 of the final 4 were the Attitude Era teams: the Dudleys, Edge of Christian, and the Hardys. I mean, I thought for sure the Dudleys were going to take this one down, but to our delight, it was indeed the British Bulldogs.
There you go. And we'd like to thank everybody that took the time to send a message, do a like, throw a vote on the community tab. It was a really well received thing. Without a doubt, as I've said before, without a doubt, the most successful promotion we have done in our podcast's short history of promotions.
Yeah, I was just on the couch one night thinking, what the hell are we going to do to fill up some time this week on an episode? And it just came to me, and voila, here we go. It's amazing. So we're going to keep on doing these. Now, we're not going to have the greatest of all time all the time. Of course, we're going to have the worst, here and there, like say the worst champions, worst pay-per-views, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to keep doing these championships tournaments because it's fun. But
yes, the main draw, the reason why everybody was voting, the reason why we turned the name of this from the GOAT to most epic is because our friends at Epic T-Shirts, a legitimate epic T-shirt company, came on as sponsor, said, hey, we are going to send to one of the people in the BWF Nation that voted for this. We're going to send them one of our epic T-shirts of and correct me if I'm wrong, it is of the British Bulldogs, the team that won the Epic Tag Team Tournament. Correct?
Correct. It is going to be a British Bulldogs tag T-shirt, and it's actually really fucking cool. It's epic. Now, what we did here to find out who is actually going to win, because we had, like I said, 100 or so people. So I put as many people as I could into a randomizer, and I randomized it 5 times. Got 5 names. Those 5 names are in this massive bag that I just happen to have.
Wow, and our compliments one.
Yeah, it's massive.
You couldn't find a hat or something?
I was literally trying to find a hat bag. I was scrambling because I thought I didn't have any time to log on. I was like, but anyway.
All right. Yes.
Here we are. So, our 5 names. Actually, I have 6 names. Our 6 names are Danny Roberts, Jeff McFarlane, Dallas Green, Chris Ivany, Dave Noseworthy, and at Crazy K.
Okay.
Oh, one of these people are going to win a T-shirt. Do we get a drum roll or anything here?
Yeah, I do actually. Yep.
Nice.
Good call. Oh my God! Do you want me to do it again? Hold on, let me do one more.
Okay.
No, it's already started.
Chris Ivany, sir, you have won a British Bulldogs T-shirt from our friends at Epic Shirts. That's
Sorry. Yes.
That's okay.
Great job, Christopher Ivany. Man, what a successful thing. And let's hope that Chris sends us a photo of him wearing the shirt. And, congratulations, Chris.
Chris, I know you're watching, so message me with your address, and we'll get that shipped to you as soon as possible.
There you go.
I think before we wrap up this epic tag team tournament that we should give one more shout out to our sponsors over at epicshirts.ca. If you do not have an epic shirt, your shirt is a lame shirt. And if you do not want a lame shirt, go over to epicshirts.ca and use BWF Wrestling Pod as your promotional code to receive 10% off your order over at epic-shirts.ca. They have wrestling retro shirts, 80s retro, 90s retro, anime, baseball, boxing, camping, celebrities, and a whole fuck ton more. Go to epic-shirts.ca, BWF Wrestling Pod. Thank you, my friends over there. It's been great.
Premium quality. That's what I look for. Look at this. Who's that? That's Kim Wilde. Look at that. Look at that intricate design there. I mean, that's a couple of different layers of patterns right there. That's not just your. Oh, what's that? Ooh. What do you think about the message that one's sending, hey? Skull. Nice. $56. That's pretty good. You put the BWF code in that, you're laughing. You're losing money by not doing it.
Honestly. And they have something for everybody in the whole family.
There you go. Aaron. Let's kick it to continue our. I mean, we're Chronicles probably, and you know what, we did it last week. I should have said this week. We got to start off with these Chronicles, man. People want to hear what we have to say about this stuff, and the joke of it is that most of the time we don't even really know what the point of it is until we discover it as we talk it through. So with that in mind, once we realized last week that you could pretty much time out the failings of WCW to the Goldberg streak, we continue now in concert with the Rock's What Killed WCW to talk about Sting and Hogan. Another awful ending to what could have been a real hot feud, baby. I'm going to kill myself. How about that? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Sting, the wet fart of Sting, a year-long feud that
it's a hard word to say, right? Culminate?
Cumulated?
Yeah, it's such a hard word. I
cumulated? It's not cumulated.
It's
right?
not cumulated. Oh, cute. Oh my God.
Cumulated. I don't know.
Christ.
Okay. Nevertheless, Aaron, yes, Sting. How would a guy like Sting, with his little surfer, bleach blonde hair, how would he be able to transition into the Attitude Era, the NWO era, and WCW, where things are real, things are cool, things are dark, things are off the rails? I mean, happy babyface. A babyface, white meat babyface, doesn't last in this. That's what happened with Hogan. Hogan's babyface run in WCW, disaster. What happens with Sting?
Well, we can start this one at the Bash at the Beach 96, where Hulk Hogan would turn his back on WCW and form the NWO. Sting, of course, was on Team WCW. Over the next few weeks, Hogan, Hall, and Nash would terrorize Nitro, and they would attack Sting, spray paint him. They spray painted Flair and a bunch of others too. But it was around this time that Hogan kept planting seeds to Lex Luger that Sting was actually going to join the NWO. And of course, we know Lex Luger and Sting, best friends for many, many years. Sting said that he would never ever do it, but for whatever reason, Luger didn't believe him. Neither did the commentators. It was at Fall Brawl 96 when Sting showed up to ringside and provided his assistance to Luger. Showed his true colors, that he actually was telling the truth all along. And then the next night, Fall Brawl 96, this is where things start to get good for the Sting character. He comes out and he cuts a promo. And in this promo, his back is turned to the camera the whole time. He's ignoring the hard cam, and so he's facing the fans. And even the commentators say, like, why isn't he facing the camera? But he said basically that for all the fans that stuck with him, thank you. But for everybody else, they can stick it. He is now a free agent because he quits WCW. And yeah, he would leave. Not long after that, Hogan and the NWO, they would introduce a fake Sting. This fake Sting was
now.
still
Hold on a
still-
second. I mean, this fans that stuck with him can stick it kind of thing. This is in '96. Hey, this sounds very reminiscent of what Bret Hart will go on to kind of do.
Yeah, Hogan just said stick it to the fans at the Ambassador Beach and said Bret Hart's going to be doing it soon. So it's an era right now where all these baby faces for years are getting that edge to them, getting that grit to them. And yeah, it's really cool thing to see the Surfer Sting telling fans to basically go fuck themselves.
And Sting is still wearing the traditional stuff at this point.
The Surfer stuff up at this point, yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
But as I said, the NWO, they would have this fake Sting in their group. They would keep trying to convince people there's the real Sting, but the real Sting would eventually come down to the ring dressed up in black and white. I actually I don't have a picture there. Sorry, it's like sort of like half the Surfer, half Crow, almost. He's not fully transformed yet, so he's got the black and white. And he takes out the fake Sting. And then Hall and Nash, the whole NWO, they're all inside the ring. And they're saying that, hey, we got this fake Sting on our side just to grab your attention. What we really want is for you to join us in the NWO. And basically, Sting, he does not say yes. He does not say no. He just said anything's possible. And then he walks away. And this actually would be the very last time that Sting would speak publicly until January 1998. This is 1996. All right. This is the last time he would speak on camera.
Holy moly.
For 2 years. I think that's incredible.
It's it's a good. Everybody sort of complains that wrestling always kind of hot shots their thing. There's no patience with it, but there's a whole lot of patience with this. Some would say maybe even a little bit too much patience, but we'll get there. So what happens? I mean, this isn't like Sting is taken off the TV for until 1998, right?
No, not at all. And you know what? We have to give WCW and Bischoff credit here because this is, well, it probably did go on too long. Well, it did go on too long, but this is one hell of a story, well built. So instead of just taking him off TV, Sting is actually up in the rafters. We've never seen this before in wrestling. He's got the slowly transforming more and more into this Crow character. He's up in the rafters, black and white face paint, not saying a word, just watching everything. Eventually,
looking super sad. Like the makeup makes him just look like he's sad to see the state of affairs of what happened to his WCW as it's being run over by the New World Order.
Yes, you just nailed the nail right in the head. Perfectly said. Now, he would eventually start coming down through the rafters. He would have the strap-on thing, and he would come down.
The what? Sorry, he would have the what?
I said the strap-on. What is it? The vest. The vest. Sorry. Jesus Christ. Yeah, whistle that one. He would have the vest on, and he would come down from the rafters to the ring. Propel. There you go. He propel down from the rafters, and he would keep everybody guessing. This is fascinating stuff. This is throughout the rest of 1996 into 97. Every single week, he would do something crazy. He would attack WCW stars like Jeff Jarrett, Rick Steiner, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He would not show whose side he was on. He even formed a brief alliance with the Macho Man Randy Savage, who was blackballed by both WCW and NWO at the time.
We need to do an entire career retrospect of the Macho Man because the guy, I think the guy just always got the shit kicked out of him. Always came out looking like a loser.
Especially
But everybody loves him.
WCW stuff, man. But yeah, we'll definitely have to do that one of these days.
Yeah. It certainly
But,
wasn't one of the things that killed WCW, but I mean, the Macho Man's booking post WWF was just
Mind-boggling.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Now, Sting, so 96, 97, Sting, he would attack anybody and everybody. He wasn't showing whose side he was on. But at one point, right before the uncensored pay-per-view in March 97, Sting would actually join the NWO in the middle of the ring. Commentators are going crazy. Fans are throwing trash in the ring. But Hogan, when he embraced Sting, he noticed that he wasn't too receptive. And I think that
he wasn't feeling the hug on the other side.
Yeah, wasn't feeling the hug, brother. No. So at Uncensored, I'm going to show very quickly here. Hold on one second.
That's the thing about Hulk Hogan, is that if you don't give him a nice, deep, solid brother hug, it's like a wet handshake or a weak handshake, you know? You're going to hug the Hulkster. He wants to feel it.
Right? So this is right after Sting joined the NWO. This is at Uncensored. After the pay-per-view, NWO are celebrating around the ring. Sting descends from the heavens into the middle of the ring.
People are loving it.
People are loving it, man. People went crazy for Sting whenever he came down. I was watching Sting clips last night. Man, there was one clip of he propelled himself into a steel cage, and the fans were just going ballistic, man. It was nuts. But here we go. Man. As you can see, Sting is attacking the NWO, showing his true colors. Poor Savage. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Fans.
All right, we feed him Savage. It's the start of every segment. It's like, all right, so looks like we're getting the upper hand. Somebody comes out, we feed him Savage, and then we all get out of there.
Oh, Scott
we need to spray paint somebody
too.
Yeah, Scott Hall is number 2 when it comes. Like, he's not far behind. The two Macho guys, Macho Man and Machismo, are feeders for sure. Now, it's interesting. Yeah. Scott Hall is here. Scott Hall, and I think confirmed by Sting. Scott Hall is the one that said he got to freshen his shit up, and it's time to get rid of the surfer look, the bleached blonde hair, and suggested that he take the Crow character from these movies that weren't super popular. If anything, they were known because of the tragic death of the main character, Brandon Lee, on set during the shooting of the movie. So, and now Scott Hall obviously made his name by taking a lot of the characteristics and stuff of a famous movie character. So, so he was the one that told Sting to switch it up.
Absolutely. And Sting never saw the movie. He had no idea, but it's a good thing he listened to him. Now, Patrick, as I'm talking here, the next video I'm going to have to get you to play because we need some audio on it. So do you have that link there in the format that I sent over? This video up here?
What is it?
What's
the damn link?
It's the story of Hogan not putting over Sting. Sorry.
Oh, is this what we're jumping to?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it beforehand, but I'll need you to play the video that I have here, okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So after Sting drops down from the rafters at Uncensored, this starts the week-to-week hell that Sting puts Hogan through. It didn't matter what feud it was, whether it was Savage and DDP, Hogan and Piper, the Outsiders, and whomever. Sting would always show up in the middle of their feuds when they least expected it and ruin their plans. And in between all this too, in between all this as well, what's his name? J.J. Dillon. He kept going to Sting with contract offers, trying to get Sting to sign with World Championship Wrestling, and Sting wouldn't do it. He kept ripping him up. Eventually, he finally got an offer to face Hogan at Uncensored for the WCW Championship, a match 1 year in the making.
As Starrcade.
At Starrcade, yeah.
Yeah.
Starrcade 97.
You said
yeah.
Uncensored.
Oh, sorry, at Starrcade, my bad. Yeah, and Sting would be playing mind games too in between all this. He would start bringing buzzards to the ring and stuff like that. So Sting had
Nice.
a lot of fun. WCW was a fun time to watch in this time period, just to see what Sting would do.
Now, is this the time period where Hogan has a thing of his own head, wearing the sunglasses and stuff? Was that Sting's doing, or was that somebody else? That could have been a Warrior thing too.
I'm pretty sure that was a Warrior thing.
Sting and Warrior had a lot of the same moves. They came up at the same time. Okay, so here's the thing. We're going to get demonetized for this, but what is it?
This is the story of how Hogan refused to put over Sting at Starrcade. Okay, the audio's a bit bad. It's fine. We can talk through it. So basically, Hogan is saying that Sting showed up to Starrcade in bad shape, physically and mentally. He was facing a lot of demons. He was, doing drugs, drinking heavily, just wasn't in shape. And speaking of being in shape, yeah, he was not wrestling for a full year, so he had ring rust. So the storyline really did go way, way too long as far as Sting not being ready to wrestle. And of course, the day comes, Starrcade comes, Sting's supposed to win the championship, and Hogan pulls his creative card. It doesn't work for me, brother, not today. I didn't want to put Sting over. So basically, Bischoff had to scramble, try to find some sort of backup plan that made Hogan happy that he didn't have the championship clean. So they came up with the fast count. Nick Patrick would count Sting's shoulders to the mat quickly, 1, 2, 3, where Bret Hart would then come out and knock out Nick Patrick, restart the match, and Sting would win. But the problem with all this is that Nick Patrick did not do a fast count. His count was a regular 1, and that stupid hand motion he did, 2, 3. Sting didn't kick out.
Right.
So nothing makes sense. So Bret Hart came down, said, restarted the match. Sting put Hogan in the sharpshooter or the deathlock or whatever and won the championship. So it makes no sense. And this video here, it's Hogan, it's Nash, and it's Bischoff. And Nash and Bischoff are basically saying one thing. Hogan said this, Hogan did that, and Hogan's like saying, "Oh, I don't know, it wasn't me. I don't know."
Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's the thing, is that Hogan's well within his right to do it. Whether or not you agree with it and his reasoning behind it, and I've heard Bischoff try to defend it by saying that Steve Borden showed up not tanned and not in ring shape, but I mean that's completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
Who gives a fuck if the man is tanned when you're
wrestling
wearing white makeup? If you're wearing a full thing of makeup,
sure,
who gives a fuck if you're tanned? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and you can put over, I mean, you put over Warrior, you could put over Sting. Like even Sting with ring rust would be able to like you can make that match work, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt Hogan at all. It hurts the company because it hurts the company. Even if Hogan went out there and won legitimately, went on, hurts the company because they had put all this time into this storyline, and for it to not have the natural conclusion that it should have is sticking it to the fans. Then to have this sort of nonsense fix around. And it's rumored, obviously, that Hogan went to Nick Patrick, although I would say that Eric Bischoff is probably responsible for it and telling Nick Patrick not to do the fast count. But ultimately, it is on, even if it was Hogan, this all is on Eric Bischoff's shoulders, right? This is Eric Bischoff's fault for signing Hogan to a contract where he, again, gets to decide without any impunity what happens in his matches, and obviously Bischoff had to give Hogan this, or felt he had to give Hogan this, to lure him from the WWE to get him to WCW so that Nitro works. So like the logic of how everything gets to where it is right now makes sense. But ultimately they don't recover from this either, right? Like it's just like I don't know where the finger poke of doom happens in all this sort of stuff, but like when you see a match that is botched like this on such a huge stage after a year plus, something like the finger poke of doom is not that far away from it, you know, in terms of disappointing and screwing with fans.
100%. And Starrcade 97, this pay-per-view, this was the most watched pay-per-view in WCW history. And then it just didn't even come close after this ever again. And it's because of shit like this. And, you know, after this, you know, they would have the Goldberg stuff. I said this is right when the Goldberg's streak started. So this crap happens, and then we get Goldberg. And, you know, it seems like, okay, you know, we get this. It gets better, and then all of a sudden they do the screw job of Goldberg's streak. What the fuck? And then a week after Goldberg's streak ended, we get the finger poke of doom. So you're getting this shit, boom, 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 one after another. And plus, as we mentioned last week, pay-per-views, DDP, Goldberg, the main event was cut off from pay-per-view time. So, I mean, you're getting a bunch of this shit happening. Finger poke of doom has said it was a week after the Goldberg thing happened. After that happened, the ratings just plummeted. They never recovered after finger poke. Hogan, speaking of finger poke, Hogan was actually the reason why that all thing happened is because Hogan was going to be running for president in the year 2000. He wanted to be champion heading into this presidential run. Nash didn't want a job. So poor Kevin Sullivan, I actually reached out to Andrew Anderson. Poor Kevin Sullivan had to come up with an idea to make Nash happy. He had to make Hogan happy. And this is what he came up with. Pitch it to Bischoff, gave it a go, and then just ruined the company.
I feel like something like this, the Starrcade finish with Sting is probably even more outrageous than the finger poke of doom. The finger poke of doom, it was surprising. Ultimately, it didn't make sense, which is what happened here. And I mean, we're seeing less of this now, but up until, I mean, even probably a year or so ago in the WWE, they would just do stuff that logically doesn't make any sense. And their thought behind it was that wrestling fans don't care. They're not looking for this kind of continuity in its storytelling, which is not the case. So, like, after they went through all this stuff with Nash and Hogan, and then for the finger poke of doom to happen, and then for them to come back together, it didn't make any sense. Sting would ultimately go with the Wolfpack, which never made any sense to me either, because this guy was so outspoken against it. The Wolfpack thing just never made any sense to me. One of the signs that the NWO thing had just gone off the rails. And it all sort of comes back to an investment in, what you said. You went through this entire year, and Sting is constantly the only one that seems like he's getting upper hand, and then he's coming in, and the whole thing with this NWO storyline is save WCW. He comes in to save it, and then, they would have been better off with just a decisive win by Hogan, because this fast count that didn't happen, and then Bret Hart comes down and restarts the match, is nonsense, and it makes everybody look stupid, including Hogan. So it didn't help anybody.
Bottom line, it was a clusterfuck. And we're going to end this off with a trivia question for you in the audience. Trivia question: how long did this Sting title reign last, and who did he drop it to?
Do you want people to? Are you going to answer it? Or?
No, this is for you in the audience.
Oh, I thought you said for audience. I think he dropped it within a week or two, right? And maybe back to Hogan or to Nash, one of the two.
It was a 2-month reign, and he dropped it back to Hogan at Super Bowl 8.
Wow. Well, there you go. Two. I mean, by the time WCW actually dies, you are getting into one-night title reigns and world title switches 2 times on a Nitro kind of things. Pretty crazy. But anyways, pretty good. Another chapter in what kills WCW. looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Aaron, you want to finish us off? You're going to finish us all off with some real deals. is my understanding.
Yes. As we're logging off this week and as we're signing off, I figured we show a video or two while I'm plugging what's coming up in life.
Man, oh man, I just keep thinking about our episode 2 weeks ago, and it went so well. Remember that?
They all go well. What are you talking about? This is good.
I don't know.
Right?
It really just hit the bar, raised the bar in terms of smooth production. We'll be chasing that one for a long time.
Fair enough. But hopefully it wasn't too bad for our audience this week. But anyway, as we're going to sign off this week, I thought I would show a video. There's an independent wrestler on my Facebook feed who had a video uploaded of himself that had a beautiful, beautiful drop kick. I made a comment and he asked me to share the world. So this is for that independent wrestler. Oh, fuck.
Okay, wow. So
Well,
handsome guy.
there we go. Right? Here we go. Nope. Fuck. Wrong one. Here we go.
See what I'm saying? See
I
what I'm
know,
saying about
I
smooth
know.
productions?
I know. Here we go. Can I get the full screen? Come on, what's going on here? I guess I can't get a full screen. But this guy's name is Travis Parsley.
Ooh, nice.
Parsley.
Ooh, look at that.
This drop kick would make Bob Holly proud. Boom. Absolutely
Ooh.
Beautiful. So
That's
Travis,
amazing.
my buddy, that one is for you. And just one more video. Of course, we always like to see these crazy, I'm not even going to say botches, but this is just a sickening, sickening video. So as you're watching these sick bumps in the background, I'm going to say we have a bunch of stuff coming up for you this week. Check out the Patreon account if you're a member over the next few days. Going to have a bunch of stuff there. Our Bill Anderson interview is recorded. It's going to be released hopefully by Wednesday next week. Once again, congrats to August Artois for beating the shit out of Savio Vega. We here at BWF Wrestling Podcast, we don't watch the product. Have a good week. Cheers. Wrestling fans, if you liked what you saw in this video, please go to our Patreon account. Link is here at the bottom of the screen. For only $3 US a month, you can get our full episodes as they're released early. You can see extra content not seen on our YouTube and TikTok channels and a whole lot more. Thank you.